Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's Tuesday. What is the day? I don't even know. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well this season. Got a word for you. Tap in. Hey guys, so I have 10 reasons for you on why God could be closing a door or ending relationships. Of course, we probably gonna list 100. But for the sake of time, if you guys have any that you would like to plug in, please do share in the comment section to help your fellow brothers and sisters. All right, let's jump in. Number one, God may be closing a door or ending that relationship because he has better for you. And I know that's like one of those cliche things, right? Well, he has better. You hear it so much that you really don't believe it, but it's true. He will close a door because he has better for you. Number two, you are not strong enough to walk away. So sometimes you can know that relationship is over or that season is done, but sometimes you just don't have the strength for different reasons. You could be struggling in confidence area. You may just kind of be going through, you guys, you hear that? I have my window open. Birds. You could be going through just that season where you don't have the strength, to walk away. So many times God will cause people to walk away from you because you're not strong enough. I always tell people, if you ever get a revelation or you getting convictions from God that this season is over, please muster up whatever confidence you need to, because it'll still be difficult for you to walk away, but it's way more difficult when God will allow, something to happen and the person leaves you. So take heed. If you're getting convictions and revelation that the season is up, start making preparations to start pulling out piece by piece, because it's easier when you got the ball in your court. Number three, you're in, this definitely was something that I experienced. You were in bondage and he wants to free you. Meaning you can have friends, you can have even family members, you can have just associates or whatever. Like it's people who you're in relationships with, and we again tend to go with what society or whoever says what, blood is thicker than water and all that nonsense. So it's almost like because of your loyalty, my chosen ones, right? Your loyalty alone will just, your mind will wrap around that. Blood is thicker than water. And so you're now in these toxic relationships or friendships or even family situationships. And truth of the matter is, it's bondage. It's bondage. And you don't even realize you are in bondage until God breaks certain things up, because he wants to free you. And even though it will probably be some of the most difficult times, and probably one of the hardest things you ever done is to walk away from people that you really, really love. And again, walking away just means that, it's boundaries, you love from a distance, whatever, but they're just not, they don't have access to your life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365, because they're just toxic and they're constantly causing you to come out of character. They're constantly have your emotions going up and down because of their actions, just whatever. So many times it's bondage, especially if anybody's like holding something over your head. It could be maybe the tug of war with children, things like that. It literally is bondage and you don't even realize it because you're just in survivor mode trying to just deal with whatever's going on. Next thing, number 4, he's making room for new people. This is absolutely true. So when people start falling off and doors start to close and you're going to be like, I don't understand what's going on. Where are all my old friends? Where's everybody? But before you know it, you have very limited amount of people around you. And so he has to make room for new people. Mind you, you're elevating, you're going to a new season. So if you try to take your prior season and the friends that's there or whoever is around you that's there, these can even be some of your, volunteers, some of your employees, some of your whoever, this, and that. If you take those individuals and put them in the same room with individuals that you will meet once God has processed and elevated you, they will be completely different people. It just won't fit. It will not fit, because the people who God is going to expose you to once you get elevated, these people are on another level, and it's not to like take away from the people at your past level. It's just not. But if the individual minds are not open to elevation, then they won't be teachable. So instead, they'll be fighting against everything that someone is trying to teach them, get them to see a different way, because they're too stuck in their way, because they don't even know that there is another way. So many times God will have to close doors from old people in order for you to have room for the new people. Number 5, for your protection, for your own protection. We can't see in the future, right? Let's just take just Neo and his wife, for example. And I'm not saying, right, because allegedly, I don't know, I don't care. I'm just trying to use an example here. You know, she made the post that she found out, you know, through 8 years of marriage, he slept with numerous individuals unprotected, right? So you're home, you thinking you're doing the right thing, blase, 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 blase. So many times God be trying to save us, right? How many times do you hear about murder suicides because somebody's flipped and lost their mind because you're ready to leave them? So sometimes God will end these things, and because we can't even see it, we don't know what can happen in the future. So he is closing doors to protect us. Number 6, I don't like this. I've said this before. I do not like this, but it's necessary. He will close a door to basically in your training wheels. So it's like you can meet a person, God can place a person in your life, and this person again is maybe more spiritually inclined than you, spiritually mature than you, so they can really, really help you, because either you're just starting out, or they may already mastered a certain level and they're still climbing, but you're still there. So he will place people in your life to really help you, because he knows when you first start out, he knows you're going to just want to run back because it's too difficult, right? So these people are going to be there to help you process everything you're going through. But there's going to become a time once you get elevated enough and God feels like, okay, well, you're good right there, so I'm going to move them. So now you can learn to hear from me on your own. Now I'm going to put you through some tests and help mature you on my own. And then I'll eventually send another person who is even more So it's I don't like that. Again, I'm not a person who, I don't want like a whole lot of people in my life. I'm just never been that person. But the small groups of people that I know God have sent to me in different ways, when you're spiritually aligned and you're spiritually connected, if something like that, and it happened to me once. It happened to me once. And I don't even know if it's ended, but I know that it was so clear as day. Like, this was your training wheels. It's clear as day that it was my training wheels, because this person came at a time that God had gave me so much revelations about certain things. And I couldn't even really speak to anybody else about it, because people, unless they're visionaries, yeah, they get it. But with this person is not even a visionary, but God used this person to come back and confirm every single thing that he had shown me and that I had never even expelled to this person. So that season was done, meaning, all right, I showed it to you. Even though you're a visionary and you know I always prove myself, Kizzy, you're still questioning things because maybe it's not in your timing or whatever. So I'm going to use this person to keep confirming things. But then once I open this door, they're no longer needed, because I only used them to confirm. And I'll be darned. That's what happened. When the door opened after years and years, then it's like me and the person just kind of, nothing even bad, just kind of like fell off. So that's another reason why he will close doors, because he has to get rid of your training wheels. Again, I don't like that. But who am I? Number 7. He will have to humble you. God will humble you before elevation. He will humble you before elevation, because once you get elevated, if you're not humble, you're going to lose your mind when favor starts just taking over your life and you seeing things moving as supernatural. Because let me tell you, If you're not tapped in and if God haven't humbled you prior to elevation, the supernatural realm of things will blow your mind. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing when you see how God's hands move in the supernatural way where nothing at all would make sense for you to explain to somebody just in the fleshly realm. Like you're sitting here trying to have a conversation with somebody that the thing doesn't even make sense on paper. It just doesn't make sense that something can move in a certain way, or you can be blessed in a certain way, or a certain door can open in a certain way when you're like the least of the least of the least who would have the opportunity. But it's supernatural. And if you're not careful, it will swell your head. So God has to humble you and snatch things from you, right? And that typically happens, right? I think well, for me, it was more so less that isolation right before transformation season. So that dry season when we're kicking and screaming because we're losing things, we're losing jobs, we're losing people, and it feels like God is stripping you. He is stripping you to prepare you, but he's also stripping you to humble you. That way you don't get up there and get a big head and then you fall back down. Number 8, this is very common. As people, we just get comfortable. We get comfortable in relationships. We get comfortable with jobs. It's like you can know you want better and you can know like, hey, it's just time to do something new, but you're comfortable and you're just, sorry guys, you're just sticking it out because it's comfortable. So sometimes God will literally, in a season, close the door because you're too comfortable. And that is not where he wants you at any longer. Number 9, he's prepping you for isolation. He's prepping you for isolation, going back to what I just said earlier. But, isolation is isolation. Isolation is just only you and God, honey. So versus him just take your 35 friends, if you've got 35 friends, versus him take your 35 friends at one time, he knows it's going to be too traumatizing for you. So you will start to find different relationships just dissipating one at a time. Maybe you grew apart from a person. Maybe, I don't know, somebody betrayed you. One over here did this, or there's just a strife, or that person may be going through their own stuff and they're not even available any longer. And before you know it, just one at a time, boom, 2 at a time, boom. And before you know it, you're now about to enter isolation season with no friends or anybody really around you. That's where he wants you. So that could be a reason also on why he's starting to close doors in certain situationships, friendships, whatever, because he's about to put you in isolation or transformation season. Number 10, I think it's the last one, because you're spiritually blind. You're spiritually blind. You got people, let me tell you, I used to hear people say it. I don't even know how to word it, but it's almost like before God elevates you, you have people around you. Again, I've never ever been a person with like a lot of people around me, right? I just like a solid 2, 3, right? Maybe 4, just solid, right? But when you get elevated, you will start to see people for who they always were. You just couldn't see it then because you're spiritually blind. Some of these people never really had your best interests at heart. Some of these people could have liked you, but they may have had you around for their own benefits. Some of these people may have been good people, but just not to a level of loyalty that God needs the people around you to have a certain type of loyalty, right? Some of these people just have ulterior motives. I think I said that. Or some of these people, it opens your eyes and you really start to see people for who they are. You see people who have been potentially using you, people who didn't have your back, people who don't even defend you, people who've left you out, people who don't it's crazy on the things that you see when your spiritual eyes are open. And these were things that you allowed to go on because you didn't even realize it. So he will start to remove people because you're too spiritually blind to really see. So you got to trust the process. I know it's easier said than done, right? It's always easier said than done, but it's all about how bad do you want it? That's the question I ask everybody. How bad do you want it? If you want it bad enough, then it'll be worth it. If you don't want the promise bad enough, then just keep doing what you're doing. No harm, no foul. I don't think so. I don't know. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.